On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk, matter of recognizing it and trying to understand her instead of trying to just look at her for just a piece of meat. So, yep, to answer the question, the sex will fade, but the substance, it lasts for a long time.
Well,
So,
what if she has? Oh, sorry.
so by understanding, men should focus on the substance in the beginning. The sex is just a bonus.
Yeah, because you could teach a chick anything, right? I mean, all the way from how she's supposed to arch her back to how her gag reflexes is supposed to move. You can make her whatever she need to be. That ain't nothing. That's light work. The real challenge is, how do I put her in a position of power to really be able to understand what she can bring to this conversation? That's the real challenge. You can teach a chick anything. If a guy can't show her what she need to be, that more speaks to him than it do to her.
In your opinion, this is just opinion. This is just you, based off your experience. How would you describe a woman of substance? And anybody can speak on it.
I think it's the way a woman speaks, the way she carries herself, her femininity. She's ambitious. Anybody that she pretty much encounters, she leaves some type of positive influence over them. Somebody that, influential, leaves their mark on the world. It's kind of my definition of it.
Kayla, if you had to describe a woman of substance, how would you describe it in your opinion?
So I would describe it as a woman that has integrity, a woman that respects herself, a woman that's honest, and a woman that has some moral character to herself in some way. So those are the basics.
Okay, let me get a couple more people. Island Girl Q, what are your thoughts about it? A woman of substance. You're on mute too, just so you know.
Sorry. A woman of substance would be a woman who has strong character, right? Humble, is consistent, loyal, more than what meets the eye, right? More than what's on the outside. Also how she treats others, right? But also her devotion to God and to other people in her life. So, and how she speaks regarding her family, her friends, her loved ones, but others not on the same level as her also. So it can, in her heart,
Okay. Mr. Logic, I'm gonna get a man's perspective. Lastly, a woman of substance, if in your opinion, what does that look like?
Woman of substance?
Yes, sir.
A woman that can reproduce, willing to reproduce, shut the fuck up and manage my resources. Only add to what I make and not take away from it. And lastly, last but not least, a woman who puts her family before herself and therefore will require the man to do the same. So, and a woman that take my tier list and turn it upside down.
There you go. It's like night and day hearing a man's perspective of a woman of substance versus. I might have to get one more man. Trigger Mike, a woman of substance, real quick. Let me see how we align.
I really love that term, substantive, because it means not superficial. And we got a lot of superficial women out here these days. So a woman of substance has these particular qualities, in my opinion. She's feminine, non-confrontational, kind, gentle, nurturing, understands the order of family. She has moral integrity, And again, I'll say she has no superficial liabilities, which means that she is nothing but an asset to her family and a cornerstone to her home and community. Yeah, I love. I mean, if we just really put it out there, that's a wife. You know, a woman of substance is a wife, the best wife. She gonna get chosen 10 times over before everybody else. And I really want ladies to notice, like JR said, none of the qualities we talking about as men have anything to do with what you do for a living, your ambition, none of that. It's not really substantive to us. And we know y'all like that stuff, but not really.
Hey, Trigger Mike, it's almost like you're reading from a manual every time you speak, brother. You know,
Well, I write
to the
things
side.
down because I suffer from short-term memory loss. I had a Bacardi 151 accident in college, but if I don't write it down when I think it, it's gonna be
Okay.
gone.
Well, don't feel bad because I had that on an everyday.
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah. I can't blame mine on nothing. It's just natural, brother. But I'll salute to you. Thank you for the input. The question I want to pose to the panel, I'll kick it off with Anton on this one, is can women keep a man with just good sex, or will substance eventually matter at some point? Can a woman keep a man with good sex, good coochie, or will substance eventually matter at some point, Anton?
I don't know. I think that all women have substance, to be honest with you. It's what you pull out of her that makes her unique, right? I think that it just takes the right type of guy to pull that level of substance. So I can always find great use for all of the women that I'm around, because I think that it takes a phenomenal guy to recognize or pull out of the greatness of a woman, right? A lot of guys just look at women for, specific things, but when you start to look at what the possibilities are and how you can conquer the world with an army full of women, or with the right type of women, I think that you start to really, really be able to mine out the value from them. So, I would say that just great sex, no, but only because that's the only thing that specific guy is looking for from that girl. I think that the minute that you show a chick that you're not necessarily trying to bust her down and you don't look at her just for sex, then you start to really extract the value out of her. And if you just so happen to bust it down, then that's just the cherry on top. But I don't believe in leading with that, because I think that the things that you can get out of a woman and the value that she has is much greater than just what's between her legs. So yeah, I think that if it's just the sex, then I think that it's fleeting. But if you can start to look at, what kind of value you can extract out of her, because women want to serve, they want to be submissive, they want to be giving, they want to be loving, they want to be nurturing. It's just in them. And so when you start to extract that and you help her to understand the value that she has beyond what's just between her legs, then you can automatically extract the substance. It's just a matter of recognizing it and trying to understand her instead of trying to just look at her for just a piece of meat. So, yep, to answer the question, the sex will fade, but the substance, it lasts for a long time.
But what if she has? Sorry.
So, by understanding, men should focus on the substance in the beginning. The sex is just a bonus.
Yeah, because you could teach a chick anything, right? I mean, all the way from how she's supposed to arch her back to how her gag reflexes is supposed to move. You can make her whatever she need to be. That ain't nothing. That's light work. The real challenge is, how do I put her in a position of power to really be able to understand what she can bring to this conversation? That's the real challenge. You can teach a chick anything. If a guy can't show her what she needs to be, that more speaks to him than it do to her.